Welcome to the channel. We are going to look at the top 10 anime betrayals. Nothing hurts more than betrayal. It is an act that most people find unforgivable. In anime, betrayal seems to happen in a big and unexpected manner. It brings out the worst in people and oftentimes results in serious battles and tragic endings. However, anime fans can agree with me that an epic betrayal makes way for the best acts of revenge. The most epic anime betrayals regularly take the form of a hero turning into a villain, or of an innocent character illuminating a dark side. Number 10, Bertolt and Reiner's big reveal, Attack on Titan. Titans have long been terrorizing humanity throughout history, often making them tasty morsels without an inch of remorse. At some point in history, humanity finally managed to counter the threat by creating extremely large walls around their home kingdom. These barriers would serve as a surefire way to keep the Titans away from their home while humanity finally lived in peace without fear of being food. It wasn't until the year 845 when the Colossus and armored Titans burst through the walls as if they were flimsy sheets of paper, ultimately endangering mankind yet again. The shocking event spurred the anime's protagonist, Eren, into action after a Titan mercilessly ate his mother. He steeled his resolve and joined the military to exact revenge against the Titans and join the fight for humanity. It meets some interesting personalities along the way, including Reiner and Bertolt, two men who shared his hate for the Titans. It wasn't until one major battle that the two revealed that they were the same Titans who broke the cave walls, serving as one of the most shocking anime betrayals for both anime viewers.
Number 9, Villetta finishes her cause, Geass. Geass is a world filled with war, destruction, chaos, and anime betrayals. These things come in many forms as many characters are killed more emotionally than physically. Utena was an elite lightweight vampire who fought under the Black Knights. She fights with the hopes of earning a real title of nobility despite being labeled as bad herself. During a rather interesting turn of events, Bertolt uses Geass on Villetta, which eventually leads to her gaining memory loss. During this time, she becomes a completely different person and even takes up the name Chigusa. Kanemahi, the leader of a Japanese resistance cell, decides to care for her and the two slowly fall in love. The two wed, with Villetta telling Anthy that she wouldn't mind becoming an 11. Unfortunately, she ends up regaining her memories and is disgusted with the fact that she fell in love with her enemy. Finishing her cause, Villetta speaks to Anthy privately and shoots him before escaping. Number 8, Anthy stabs Utena, revolutionary girl Utena. The most painful thing about backstabbing is that it usually comes from a friend rather than an enemy. In Revolutionary Girl Utena, duelists from Mayuri Academy fight to gain the Rose Bride as their reward. The spirited and tomboyish Utena Tenju takes part in these battles to defend the Rose Bride, Anthy Haimlia, from her abusive fiancé. The two become good friends as Utena fights to free Anthy from her fated marriage, and they grow even closer as more duelists plan to use the Rose Bride for their own gains. As the Rose Bride, Anthy starts off as an extremely reserved and shy girl who slowly begins to open up throughout the story. However, she isn't actually the sweet girl she seems to be as her darker side continues to surface, going so far as to even reveal an incestuous relationship with her brother Akio. Despite all the evidence stacked against her, Utena continues to fight for the Rose Bride and turns a blind eye to her past. Things finally escalate to a point where a duel between Akio and Utena wherein he tries to show her a vision of Anthy's true colors and form of the witch. Utena shoves the vision away and remains loyal to Anthy, but the Rose Bride goes on to stab her savior in the back. So much for her chivalry. Number 7, Moeka kills Mayuri, Steins, 8. Steins, it takes a while to pick up, especially during the first few episodes. Viewers are greeted with a maniac named Reiner and his motley crew consisting of a sweet girl named Mayuri and Hakurikaru Apache. They start off with their plans for time travel, tackling major conspiracies, but things begin to escalate when more of the cast finally trickles in. One character, Moeka, is a shy and absent-minded individual who often prefers to communicate with people via text messages. She decides to join in on Okabe's plans to learn more about the Phantom Retro PC, the IBM 5100. Moeka's constant obsession with the PC eventually lands her a spot in his crew as she becomes lab member 005. While she might have seemed like any other tech enthusiast, Moeka was actually trying to stop Okabe and his group from continuing their time machine project. In spite of her inconspicuous warnings, the group still completes their project and the team celebrates just before Moeka and a group of mercenaries bursts into their lab. Moeka then mercilessly shoots Mayuri, which pushes Okabe to start his emotionally taxing time-traveling adventure to save her. Number 6 Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune's cunning plan, Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon starts off as a rather light-hearted anime with love acting as a central plot point. Usagi Tsukino might seem like your average ditzy high school student, but she awakens as the leader of a group of female guardians known as the Sailor Scouts. They initially start off a small squad before expanding and adding new fighters to their family. In line with this, the Scouts are a tight-knit group who support each other in and out of the battlefield. Shockingly enough, one of the most heartbreaking anime betrayals stems from two of the Sailor Scouts, Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus. These two were already notorious for doing their own thing during combat, but things took a more drastic turn when they defected from the Scouts and joined Sailor Galaxy at the request for stealing star seeds to defeat Usagi. Sailor Moon had no idea that it was just an elaborate ploy for Neptune and Uranus to steal Galaxy with star seeds, but the plans caused the deaths of several sunshine, including their own. Number 5 Kubi's little secret, well they got dope magic. At first glance, Kubi seems to be the last thing that will betray anyone, especially little girls. The cat-like creature looks like it would make the perfect stuffed animal because of its charming looks and adorable facade. Kubi is the perfect example of a little girl's dream come true, and it's exactly the main reason why it approaches them as a messenger of magic with the promise of granting them their biggest wish. In exchange, they must enlist as magical girls and must fight the witches terrorizing their world. Kubi's offer seems a little too good to be true, become a hero and get whatever you want in return. But the truth is that the messenger of magic is actually harboring a dark secret about his agreement with the contractors. When those under the contracts fall into despair, they become the very witches they hunted as magical girls. In turn, this chain of events become a ruthless and tragic cycle of killing and trickery. Number 4 Grail takes the lead, Black Butler. Grail was originally introduced as nothing but Angelina Dow's butler, who was a phantom-eyed aristocrat. While they might not have seemed like much, the two were actually behind the various Jack the Ripper tags. Moreover, Angelina actually had a completely different persona as Madame Red, while Grella was actually a Grim Reaper and collector of souls. The two shared a rather interesting and symbiotic relationship because of their roles. Unfortunately for them, Seal and Sebastian discovered their little games and decided to put a stop to their violence. Both parties clashed with each other, with Madame Red eventually gaining the upper hand. She couldn't bring herself to kill Seal, however, because of the motherly love she felt for him. Grell then decided to take matters into her own hands and kill Madame Red instead as she saw little use for her. That said, Grell's actions easily landed her a spot as one of the most popular anime betrayals. Number 3 She commits genocide. So it's only understandable that it would have one of the most powerful anime betrayals. The Uchiha clan was one of the 4 noble clans of Cunning, and also one of the strongest because of their sharing. Clan members also displayed natural battle skill and took part in wars against different factions. At some point in history, they planned to have a coup d'etat to overthrow the 3rd Hokage and his administration because they doubted his leadership. Several clan members voted against the idea, seeing the coup as just another reason to start a new world war. Konohagakure elder Danzo Shimura acted with his own interest to protect Konoha and spoke to Uchiha regarding the uprising. Danzo offered him 2 options: let the Uchiha proceed with their coup that would lead to their death, or kill the clan himself while sparring his brother, Sasuke. Ichi decided to choose the latter idea and enlisted help from Tobi, wiping the entire clan out in one night. Ichi took all responsibility for his actions and urged Sasuke to seek revenge against him, pushing his brother to grow stronger. Sasuke eventually decided to gain more power by betraying his friends and siding with Orochimaru. Number 2 Aizen's true colors, Bleach. While Sosuke Aizen might be known as the notorious villain in Bleach, he actually started out as a mild-mannered gentleman. He was the captain of the 5th Division in the Gotai 13 and took on the appearance of an honest, hard-working man. Sosuke was also polite to his peers and was extremely stoic under pressure, often preparing a plan for any given situation. It was these exact attributes that made him a perfect villain who would betray his group, the Soul Society. To everyone's surprise, Sosuke suddenly defects and abandons his post. He even goes as far as to change his appearance by removing his glasses and changing his hairstyle. That said, he also destroys all perceptions of loyalty to the Soul Society and even wages war against them with his own arm and brainwashing. Sosuke constantly displays his immense power throughout the series as he nearly cut a Leader's body in half without much effort. In the end, he ended up facing defeat and was imprisoned for his crime and betrayal. Number 7 Moeka kills Mayuri, Steins, Steins, it takes a while to pick up, especially during the first few episodes. Viewers are greeted with a maniac named Okabe and his motley crew consisting of a sweet girl named Mayuri Shima and Hakurotaru Arpachio. They start off with their plans for time travel, tackling major conspiracies, but things begin to escalate when more of the cast finally trickles in. One character, Moeka, is a shy and absent-minded individual who often prefers to communicate with people via text messages. She decides to join in on Okabe's plans to learn more about the Phantom Retro PC, the IBM 5100. Moeka's constant obsession with the PC eventually lands her a spot in his crew as she becomes lab member 005. While she might have seemed like any other tech enthusiast, Moeka was actually trying to stop Okabe and his group from continuing their time machine project. In spite of her inconspicuous warnings, the group still completes their project and the team celebrates just before Moeka and a group of mercenaries bursts into their lab. Moeka then mercilessly shoots Mayuri, which pushes Okabe to start his emotionally taxing time-traveling adventure to save her.